Hey guys, welcome to Boxing Squared for boxing news and views from around the internet. AJ and Vlad, the rematch. Every day that goes by, and there's been a number of them, my appetite for this rematch is just sinking. Vlad, he said, and he was on the record as saying as such, June, he'd make a decision. So right now we're near the end of July. I mean, what is going on? I previously did a video on this. I mean, it was like well over 3 weeks ago, and we were at that stage waiting. We're still waiting, but we were told something was coming soon. I mean, we've been hearing a few things that potentially it's Las Vegas, potentially a certain venue, certain day, a certain month, November. But all this sort of, these scraps, I mean, they're all unconfirmed. And actually, I don't know if I care anymore. The first fight, it was a great fight. It really was. But at that point, I was kind of satisfied. Yeah, I think, that was a great fight. Do I need to see it again? Probably not. It felt like a natural sort of changing of the guard from from the master to the pupil, that sort of thing. But obviously, Vlad, because for a while I was thinking, well, is this just mind games? Does he want this rematch? He's already starting to prepare for it, starting to train, but he's just sort of jerking us around. But now, I don't know, I'm not so sure. I mean, you might have seen Vlad, some sort of lake in the Ukraine just the other week, posted on social media. I don't care, Vlad. Post something where you're saying, yeah, I'm going to make a decision about this fight. And even if they do have the fight, are you really up for it? Is this sort of, I mean, I know that for that first fight, because remember, we had about 5 months build up. There was a sense of anticipation. But right now, with this fight, even if it does get announced in the next 2, 3, 4 weeks, whatever it could be, I kind of feel like, yeah, been there, done that, got the postcard. And this whole thing with Anthony Joshua fighting just twice a year, I mean, why? Why can't he fight 3 times a year? Twice a year just seems like a bit of a joke. One, he's not maximizing his earning potential. But two, he could easily have 3 fights a year. He's certainly had a lot more than that. I mean, if he only has the two this year and Vlad takes that fight, well, we've just lost a year to Vlad. And we've got plenty of people in the queue that we want to see AJ fight. You have Kubrat Pulev, he's next cab off the rank, rightly or wrongly. But the IBF, they're pretty strict about these things, so he will be next. Then you've got WBA mandatory Luis Ortiz. As we know, Ortiz has been waiting like forever for his shot. In my view, he deserves one. But by the time he gets that shot, he's probably, going to be claiming a pension or something like that. It's just been so long. And then that's not even sort of taking into account, musings of Eddie Hearn about potential Joseph Parker fights in the future, Deontay Wilder fights. There's going to be other people who come up and rise through the ranks that we want AJ to fight. That is, if he keeps winning. Say, for example, Daniel Dubois. He is a rising star. And eventually, in another couple of years, he's probably going to be at that point where he'll be in the conversation for a Joshua fight. But the way it's going, he'd have to wait about 65,000 years before Joshua could actually fight him, let alone every other person in the queue. As we've heard, there's been like a zillion people just throwing out Joshua's name. I'd actually prefer some of these other guys to throw out each other's names, because one of the real things that really disappoints me in the heavyweight division is there's hardly any really decent fights. It's either lopsided or nothing. Most of the time, you know who's going to win with relative certainty. I mean, we might have 20% of the fights where you go, well, that's a fight that either guy could win. But otherwise, it seems to be, I mean, Dillian White's latest fight, covered this in another video. What a joke against Michael Grant, 44 years old, last win in 2011. I mean, that's just the example that it seems to be rife in the heavyweight division. I mean, the division needs some life, and I kind of feel this whole AJ and Vlad situation. It feels like that whole run where where Vlad was in control. I mean, he's holding up the division again. I think they do need to fight Joshua more. But in terms of the rematch, not convinced that I really want to see that again. Every day that goes by, I've got less and less interest. I'm sure I'd probably get up for it in the end and, watch the fight and sort of be sort of clued in with it. But yeah, we've been there, done that. Let's move on. Let's move on, and hopefully Joshua can fight 3 times a year. Okay, that's it from me. Hit like and subscribe. I'm out.